Soludo, why? Soludo, I just said he said be professor. Soludo, why are you dividing your people? Soludo, you be enemy of progress or enemy of the people. Soludo, even though you no one support your brother, why are you dividing the people? Other people will be said they know they the same party. They support Peter Obi. You will say he be him brother. Why are you criticizing Peter Obi? What did Peter Obi do? What did your brother do you? Soludo, why? Even if you don't want to support them, why you no go keep quiet? Let other people support them. Let him do his thing as he wants. Soludo, why are you dividing the people? Obi, then share this video. Watch this video and share it. Obi, then share.
A member of his household. When they talk this, now remember Peter Obi. Now the governor of Anambra State, Soludo, they talk say Peter Obi investment as we speak is worthless. And use this same governor 8 years ago when we say you dey campaign, when you do your debate, when they do debate, you were praising the same Peter Obi. You watch the video when they praise Peter Obi, and you come watch wetin Arise TV analyze. Because even after Peter Obi left, another governor did 8 years, and now you are still doing your own. That means the governor that didn't make that investment appreciate automatically. Now be the governor when you're supposed to talk about. Peter Obi left money while he was on seat for the next governor to meet Abi. Now the governor before Soludo, he sweep the account, he cover the O before Soludo enter. So if now you got take him out, who you vote for? Or you watch the first video where he say he praise Peter Obi. I watch Arise TV video.
Tell you for the records, Anambra State has the lowest unemployment of any state in Nigeria at 13%. National Bureau of Statistics, not Anambra State numbers. Anambra State has poverty rate declined from 53% under Peter Obi to 14.78 as at last year. National Bureau of Statistics, not our own numbers. Anambra State has the lowest underemployment rate at 17% of any state in Nigeria. National Bureau of Statistics. So, when you want to say
comments made by the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, in which he said that investments in Anambra State, being credited to the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, are worth next to nothing. Soludo made the comment during a live interview where he was invited to discuss the state's budget of 258.9 billion naira. Well, when asked about Obi's investments, Soludo claimed that he was not aware of any investment made by his predecessors. Peter Obi served as Anambra State governor 3 times between 2006 and 2014 and is reported to have left over 26 billion naira in Anambra State coffers by the time he left office. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Ahmed, who wrote, "This is the 3rd governor of Anambra State who has affirmed that Peter Obi's administration was a waste of time and total failure. Chris Ngige said Obi hates infrastructure. Obi himself had criticized government investment on infrastructure. The former governor, Obiano, also said the same thing." While Esteem wrote, "I'm told Soludo recently received over 268 million in oil derivation from a 4 billion naira investment Peter Obi had made in Orient Petroleum in 2012, one of many of his investment initiatives on behalf of Anambra State. Did he, Soludo, acknowledge that? No. Well, an old video where Peter Obi explained why he left so much money in Anambra State coffers has resurfaced online. He spoke in an interview with veteran journalist Kadaria Ahmed. Well, let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
Before I leave the Soludo comments and go to other things, just quickly, part of the criticism was that you left too much money in the coffers at a time when he believed that there was actually things you could do with that money.
No, let me tell you. When people say I left too much money, that where I think things are critical for me, rather than go and spend the limited resources of the state, I try to look for federal government, development partners, assistance in other areas. what we did in terms of the money we left. If you're operating with the depleting assets, you must save for the future. And I'll give you an example. Somebody told me yesterday, said, the foreign currency component of your saving is now about $170 million, which is like about 40 billion. Which state in Nigeria can say they have 40 billion?
Well, Dr. Abati, this story has been trending over social media from that interview Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo granted and talked about the fact that he was not aware of, any investment of his predecessors, and went on to talk about an investment that was, circulating on social media. I believe it was in relation to maybe Peter Obi's brewery, and that's the story online at this point, where, people talked about Peter Obi had invested or had, about $20 million in that brewery, and he said something about the brewery had, not made any money, or it's worthless at this point. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Again, it's political season.
Yes.
People will make, all kinds of claims. They will defend themselves. It's in the nature of the season for us to have this kind of development. However, what I've seen about this is that people are saying that Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, is from Anambra State. If anything, you will expect the governor of his home state to support him and not to say anything that will appear to demarcate him at a time when, emotions are rising high with regard to the political campaigns. The second thing to note about this particular matter is that Governor Soludo himself told his interviewer, on Channels TV, that, look, I'm here to discuss 2023 budget, not to talk about investments. But that these investments you are talking about, they amount to next to nothing. Now, in terms of the reactions, I note the reaction of Babatunde Gbadamosi, a Labour Party chieftain in Lagos State. He accused Governor Soludo, one, of demarketing his own kinsman. Two, he pointed out that after Peter Obi as governor, there was another governor, Governor Obiano, that the question that should be raised, even if he says and he can prove that the investments are next to nothing, what did Governor Willie Obiano do with those investments? Is it possible that it was under Willie Obiano that those investments were mismanaged? Considering the fact that it is not always in Nigeria that you have continuity, that you have commitment to legacy projects that have been put in place by the predecessor. Babatunde Gbadamosi also brought an issue which has been out there subtextually. And he said that he thinks that Governor Professor Charles Soludo is attacking or attacked Peter Obi because he himself has a personal ambition that he wants to become president. So in all of these narratives, you'll find a lot, that is involved in terms of, being your kinsman, in terms of two, personal ambitions, in terms of three, is the target right? Because it's been since 2007 or so that Mr. Peter Obi left office. So why is he being attacked at this particular time? Now, the question to also raise is that with the downturn in the economic fortunes of Nigeria, the Naira has been misbehaving, the foreign exchange has gone bad, every investment really has issues, okay? So that will be another dimension from which to look at it. But nobody has queried the fact that Mr. Peter Obi, in leaving office, left a very healthy balance sheet in Anambra State, and that he invested a lot in education. It was under his watch that Anambra, went tops in school examinations in Nigeria. But Professor Soludo says, in terms of investment, he intends to invest in public infrastructure, in health, in education, because he quickly, pirouetted away from that question to talk about his own investments in infrastructure. But the controversy is understandable considering that Mr. Peter Obi is one of the leading candidates in the process of the 2023 election at the presidential level. But it's not my duty, to serve as his spokesperson. I'm sure that he has the capacity and he has a team behind him that will respond robustly to Governor Soludo's claims. And we look forward to that robust response. I'm sure some people, Okupe and others are already putting the sentences together to put up a good response. Absolutely. But they have their right of reply. Yes. And it will be interesting to see what they have to say.
Absolutely. Well said, Dr. Abati. Rufai.
I mean, it's politics season, open season, you hear a lot. Right of reply, you hear a lot. But let's stick to the facts. What are the facts? The question is, did Peter Obi leave money when he was leaving, yes or no? He did leave. There's a letter to prove that. Shouldn't we celebrate people that leave money rather than in a country where people leave humongous debts? Because this same Governor Soludo that is speaking, when you look at it critically, he complained about the debts. We interviewed him here on Arise, where he was complaining about the debts that was left behind by Governor Obiano. The humongous debts. That there was virtually next to nothing left. So if somebody leaves behind, shouldn't we commend them? In a country where we are spending all of our revenue to service debts. The question is, did he make investments? Yes or no? What is the worth of those investments today? Did he achieve some milestones? The answers are out there. Dr. Bati, you said one about the education sector. Did he make those inroads as regards bettering the lot of the people in the states? Did he reduce insecurity? Those are the facts we should look at. Not somebody saying, oh, the investments are worth nothing. But the question is, there was a person before him, there was a Governor Obiano, that this same Governor Soludo told us on this morning show that left a very good debt profile behind. And it was a problem for him when he started, which is a fact out there that we can't deny. So let's juxtapose facts for facts here, and call a spade in this conversation. Yeah, I know he wanted to talk about his budget, and I also thought it was good that he did talk about his budget. And kudos to Governor Soludo. He has started, he cleared very big slums somewhere in Onitsha. He's been able to start some road infrastructure work, and all of that. I've been able to see some level of progress that he's made, because I take out time to watch Anambra Broadcasting Service from time to time and all of that. But what are the facts on ground? Did Peter Obi leave investment? Yes, he did. Did he make investment? Yes, he did. Did Governor Obiano leave money? No, he did not. He left debt, and Governor Soludo confirmed it to us on the show. Those are the facts we should deal with on ground.
That's it, Rufai.